And we welcome you back to Ventura College. We move on to the women's semifinals here in the 3C2A Men's and Women's Soccer Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff back with you, joined by Nick Garcia. Nick Garcia, assistant coach at Cal Lutheran. And Nick, welcome. Thank you so much for sitting in with us today. And very exciting matchup. And I think the storyline for this one as we get ready to watch Lake Tahoe and San Bernardino Valley is who's not here. And San Bernardino Valley able to knock off unbeaten Cerritos, the top seed in the South, and open things up a little bit. But I think that says a heck of a lot about San Bernardino Valley and what they bring to the table.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, Cerritos getting knocked out, that was a big upset overall, I feel. Being a powerhouse for many years, being a powerhouse and being able to compete at this level. But on to what we have right now with Lake Tahoe and San Bernardino Valley will be interesting with the amount of goals that Lake Tahoe has scored overall with 101 goals, and as well as San Bernardino with 84. It should be a very good game, very attacking minded.
Yeah, one thing that's jumped out at me for the stats, staying with Lake Tahoe, is kind of a shotgun approach. According to the stats, 600 shots on goal. That's second in the 3C2A for the Coyotes, and a shot percentage of just under 17%, which ranks them 63rd. So it kind of looks like they like to throw the kitchen sink at the net and just hope a few get by, and that's what's been happening, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, for their keepers to be only letting in 0.22 goals a game is insane throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are just staggering. 101 goals versus 6 goals against. Well, the math tells me that's a plus 95 right there, but that's a prolific offense and an incredibly stingy defense. But obviously, the level of competition is going to go up here. We're down to the final 4 teams, and as you talked about, San Bernardino Valley, a prolific scoring team themselves. So it should be exciting as the teams come out on the field, and we are just moments away. This is semifinal number 1, and of course, we'll have semifinal number 2. That will be unbeaten Santiago Canyon taking on San Joaquin Delta. That'll come up at 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, you want to talk about the prolific nature of Lake Tahoe's offense. You go back to their round 1 game against Evergreen Valley. That was back on November 17th, and it was a 5-0 win, so they can score in bunches. They went on to defeat West Valley and a victory at Sierra, which was an upset on the north side as well. Sierra, the top team in the northern bracket coming in, but it was Lake Tahoe dispatching them pretty routinely in a 2-0 win.
I mean, the goals say it all, and the back line. I mean, they probably go unnoticed, given the 101 goals for them, that the back line and the goalkeepers, both goalkeepers actually having 3 goals against and 2 goals against each. I mean, they've done a very good job defensively, it looks like. So
it's Lake Tahoe with the throw-in. Just in the first minute. And that one cleared out. And it'll be another throw-in for the Coyotes. Looks early on to me, Nick, like San Bernardino Valley going to pack it in a little bit offensively. And you have to imagine, even though these are 2 teams that haven't seen each other, that there is something of a reputation here, a little bit of scouting that's going on. If nothing more than a look at the statistics as a counter developing, but a poke check and the ball free, and here comes Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe led by number 11, Emily Roberts, 30 goals, 67 points on the season. But they get it from a few sources. Angelica Hurtado, Alyssa Williams, and Lauren Walcott, all double-digit goal scorers
Yeah, that threat alone, like we keep saying, is going to – it'll be interesting to see how San Bernardino can handle those three.
And how does that impact what you want to do defensively as a header ahead and played out of bounds over the end line? Let's see what the call is here. But how does that impact defensively from a coaching standpoint, what you want to do when the team comes at you and has 3, 4, 5 options?
I mean, that makes you have to really, really put on focus on defending, which is going to be a huge battle for them, not only having one, but like you said, having 2, 3, maybe even 4 attackers that can actually do stuff and get the job done for them like they have all season long. So we'll see how San Bernardino holds up against that.
First set piece and a shot toward the front post, and it'll be played back into the box. Loose ball and corralled. It's Claudia Janice, the goalkeeper for Lake Tahoe. On the other side for San Bernardino Valley, it'll be Vanessa Casillas. Coyotes looking to counter. Centering pass and a one-timer and a whiff. So a good opportunity there. And it looked like that was Roberts right in the box, and she went to the left foot, but could not get solid contact. And perhaps early for San Bernardino Valley, a bullet dodged as we move into the 5th minute. Well, that was a very good look for Emily Roberts, who found herself maybe no more than about 10 yards out with a great look, but could not get the shot on goal.
Yeah, that is. We'll see how that holds out with the rest of the game. It being early on, it could have been a big decider for them right now, but it looks like San Bernardino has a lot of the possession right now, so things could go either way right now.
Okay, I want to correct that very quickly. I was in trouble. 11 and 21. It was Lauren Walcott who had the scoring chance before. Nonetheless, the game remains scoreless as this one's played out, and San Bernardino Valley just wants to reset. So Walcott in the middle, and Walcott has had a big postseason. Couple of goals in the first 3 rounds. And she scored early in the 2nd minute against Sierra to help stake Lake Tahoe to a lead that they would not relinquish. They ended up winning it 2-0. What's up? Sixth minute, we're just underway. It's the women's semifinals. Semifinal number 1, CCCAA Men's and Women's Soccer Championship. Here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Looks like both teams are playing in a 4-3-3, which is very attacking-minded for both, but as of now, defensively, San Bernardino has to drop into maybe a 4-5-1 to try to slow down Lake Tahoe a little bit.
Well, the early ball control, I think, has been largely Lake Tahoe, so I feel like it's San Bernardino that right now is needing to make an early adjustment.
Yeah, I think massively they need to make some sort of adjustment to start to get their numbers up. I think they're holding a bit of a low line, which is not letting them attack out of the back and try to get forward, which they normally do.
Well, you'd be tempted to think, okay, maybe this is just a speed adjustment and they're getting used to a new opponent here, but their last opponent was Cerritos, so you think they'd be pretty comfortable with a prolific offensive opponent. But right now it's Lake Tahoe in control early, but as we've seen in our earlier coverage, and particularly in the Golden West victory, that can be a little misleading. Just one quick counter and it can be a completely different situation, of course.
Yeah, soccer's a funny game. You can have most of the possession and then end up scoring in the last minute and changing the game completely. So it doesn't matter how much possession you have. It's a matter of if you can finish on your chances.
San Bernardino Valley, led by Karen Jacobs with 18 goals. Caitlin Sauceda and Nayeli Sandoval, also in double digits on the season. Averaging a little over 4 goals a game on the season. Long pass broken up, but recovered for San Bernardino Valley. They try the give and go. Centering pass, and the redirection, not enough on it, and Janice out quickly to gobble it up. That was a terrific feed. Stephanie Doran able to get that one centered, but San Bernardino Valley unable to produce a meaningful shot. This is Roberts. She sends it outside as Lake Tahoe looks to attack. Going back to San Bernardino Valley. Well, that's a couple of give and goes that you see there in the tight passing in the last minute here for San Bernardino Valley, and is that perhaps a little bit of an adjustment because it's Lake Tahoe that's come out seemingly pretty aggressive on both sides?
Yeah, it is. It looks like they're trying to get in behind a little bit and maybe even try to counterattack and play a little bit more defensive probably than they normally do, San Bernardino. So
that one poked free.
The adjustments that they've made to try to stop those Lake Tahoe goal scorers seems to be working as of now.
Into the 10th minute. Still no score. Well, it's been an interesting day so far, starting with a Golden West, a very dominating performance in our first game, unseating defending champion Fresno. Then we had a tale of 2 games in our second men's semifinal. Cerritos dominating through 55 minutes, 3-0, and then holding on into the final minute before finally slipping past City College of San Francisco 3-2. So all just my long way of saying that who knows with these two teams, and we may see no scoring here today. Who can figure any of this out?
Yeah, I mean, being able to watch some of those games, it's been interesting today to say the least. So, I mean, don't hold your breath for anything.
Throw in on the far side. Now Tahoe wants to counter. Looking to center, but that one poked free and out of bounds. And this will be a corner kick. So for Lake Tahoe. Another chance here for a set piece. We saw Walcott and Roberts with a couple of opportunities early. Chip toward the top of the box, and it's San Bernardino Valley that's able to play it out. Walcott can't handle it. Wolverines want to look to mount an attack. Now a giveaway in the Lake Tahoe zone. And there you see Valerie Meyer just content to play that one out and allow the defense to set itself. Nearly a big turnover. Nayeli Sandoval starting to get a little momentum, but Meyer able to just poke that one free. That one blocked at the point. Walcott wants to counter, but 4 back for San Bernardino Valley. And it's Sandoval able to tip that one away. Well, how about the effort there? Sandoval makes the steal on one end and then gets back and actually pokes it away back on the offensive attack.
She does not want to give up the ball, does she, right now? She does not want to give up anything.
10-goal scorer on the season.
Looks like a substitute was made as well. Looks like Mariah Gonzalez came on for San Bernardino.
Tahoe content to clear.
It'll be interesting to see how the goalkeepers deal with the sun as well on one of the sides of the field.
Yeah, it's plain to see on our shot here that you can see that the sun is at an angle here, creating a significant amount of glare on the field. And, well, you know, just in our previous game, we saw huge winds, really gusting winds, and I think it clearly had an impact on play. And now the winds have calmed down here as it gives way to early evening. But now the sun, as it begins to set, sets a factor. So conditions have been a factor here, seemingly in all of our games. Let's see how it shakes out here. And one poked to the far corner. And San Bernardino content to just let that one go out, and they'll send it back over, and Casillas will have a kick here in the 15th minute.
Substitute. Looks like Marcela Gallo comes off for Maria Carino, which might be a bit different looking at her stats for Maricela with 7 goals and 8 assists. Might be maybe resting her a little bit for the second half or something, giving her a break.
That one blocked, but then recovered. Now a 50-50 ball, and Sandoval's giving chase, but it's sent out of play by Lake Tahoe. Will have a throw-in.
Does not look like Lake Tahoe are changing anything defensively for San Bernardino, leaving 2 up top still and not dropping numbers back. So, being very confident in their back line and their goalkeeper as well.
I've seen a couple of possible counters here in the first about 20 minutes or so of this game, but I think both teams seem to be quite aware of the other one. A lot of players back.
It's a very tight game, so we'll see. Like, it could come down to one simple mistake.
Long pass ahead, wanted Walcott, but played out. Are they going to say this is off of Walcott? So San Bernardino will have the throw-in. But Tahoe with the steal. Walcott able to keep it alive off of Jacqueline Garcia. Walcott battling a couple of San Bernardino defenders, and that one's sent out, and it'll be a corner kick, so a good individual effort from Walcott.
I think we should expect a lot of corners and attacking threats from Lake Tahoe, with also having a recorded of 600 shots throughout the season, being second overall with that. So they like to create chances, they like to shoot, which also leads to their goals, 101. So
back outside, no foul called.
corner kick.
Third corner, if memory serves already, for Lake Tahoe, and this will be brought in by Sydney Woodward.
Looks like the ref is having a word with Lake Tahoe about being on the keeper.
Chip looking for the far post, and the header is wide. Well, there you see him mix it up a little bit. They went for the low drive to the top of the box on the previous corner kick from the same spot, and then that time they chipped for the far post and produced a much better shot, but couldn't quite get it on net. 19th minute. San Bernardino Valley with a dramatic victory over Cerritos back on November 24th. They win at 5-4 in penalty kicks, had to go to extra penalty kicks before Niley Sandoval able to convert. And the 5-4 win in penalty kicks punches San Bernardino's ticket here to the Final Four. And as a prize, they get undefeated Lake Tahoe.
We'll see if they can do it again, being the underdog in this situation, I feel.
Yeah, just one loss on the year. It's of course, I suppose it's no big surprise when you arrive at a Final Four that they're going to be gaudy records. Meanwhile, a turnover here, and San Bernardino thinking counter, but it's played out, and Lake Tahoe will now set up. Quickly played in and back out. Centered into the box, but only Tahoe players are home, but they give it up. Another chance here. Another ball centered. Shot on goal, but blocked by Janice. It's still alive in the box. Big time save by Janice.
I think that's the best attacking option that they've had so far. Biggest chance for San Bernardino being.
See if we can catch the tail end of that.
Being more in their half, I feel that for the most part, for the last 20 minutes or so, it's been down in San Bernardino's half. So could have been the chance probably to put them through.
Perhaps the best chance of the game so far in the 21st minute, but Claudia Janice able to come up with the save, and we stay scoreless. Well, that draws a whistle. Valerie Meyer working against Karen Jacobs, the leading scorer for San Bernardino Valley, and it's Meyer who picks up the foul and will have a free kick directly out front. And this really the first opportunity, one of the first opportunities for San Bernardino to really set something up offensively.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how they work off of a set piece. Looks like 4 over the ball as they're talking about how they're going to deal with this free kick or who's going to take it.
Jacobs on the far left toward the bottom of your screen. Chip toward the far post, and the header's on goal. Janice can't quite find the handle, and now does. Well, I don't know if maybe Claudia Janice was a little thrown off that there wasn't a lot on that header, and she almost had it slip through her fingers. But a great job going down to maintain possession and come up with the save.
Nice little set piece there that's probably been drawn up that they've been practicing on for the season by San Bernardino. Like you said, caught the keeper off guard, I think, a little bit by that header, but that's something that's been practiced multiple times for them to get that down and to get that header off.
Well, San Bernardino Valley maintains possession, but a pass broken up. Centering pass, sent back.
Seems to be, as the game has slowly started to progress on, San Bernardino has started to get their footing. And maybe it seems like the tides are starting to change a little bit, having 3 or 4 chances in a row now.
Hurtado can't quite handle it, but Lake Tahoe keeps it.
I think the San Bernardino chances have started to come from Karen Jacobs and Nayeli Sandoval. If you watch them a little bit more, they start to shift places and keep moving and kind of draw that defense and try to stretch them a little bit so they can get in behind.
And Jacobs and Sandoval both seem to have that similar kind of build where they're a little bit lower center of gravity but quick acceleration, and they've been able to work themselves free and generate some good offensive opportunities. I think the acceleration is proving to be a problem, as it has for many teams this year.
Pace, speed is going to be, it could be a game changer in itself. So it'll be interesting to see.
And this is Sandoval playing it ahead, but back to Lake Tahoe. Wolverines want to counter. Jacobs can't catch up to the pass. Back to the give and go. Nobody home in the box, and Janice with an easy save. Well, it shouldn't come as a huge shock that Lake Tahoe has come out and been solid defensively, at least in terms of limiting the opponent to no goals. They haven't given up a goal in the postseason, outscoring their opponents 9-0 in the 3 wins to get here, so they're working on a streak.
That is a great job by their defense to not have given up any goals in the postseason so far, and their goalkeeper as well.
Well, we've already seen Janice come up with at least 1 big save.
I expect there to be a lot more coming in from her. So I think this will be a good game for her to have.
Chipped in front of the goal. Casillas able to punch it free and sent back out. Monica Garcia just clears that one away. It'll stay with Lake Tahoe. We are in the 27th minute. No score. Men's final already set. Golden West and Cerritos. That'll happen Sunday at 10 o'clock. A little more trouble handling the ball that time for Valerie Meyer. Now she'll have to go back and retrieve. Well, Dave LaTourette talked in the first couple of games. This is a synthetic surface. It presents a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure these two teams what the home turf is, but sometimes this can be a bit of a change. I've seen Lake Tahoe have a little bit of trouble in terms of ball handling here in this first half, I think more so than San Bernardino thus far.
The surface could be very different. It could make the game a little bit quicker than it normally is. Balls get misweighed.
Centering pass just ahead.
I believe this field is a lot wider, though, than San Bernardino is used to.
Pass was intended for Eleanor Boothman, and Boothman couldn't quite catch up. Played out, and we'll have a throw-in for Lake Tahoe. So the free kick will come.
Looks like San Bernardino are setting up as if it's a corner, leaving people on the goal line, which could be dangerous.
Meyer to the top of the box, played out. Jacobs able to clear it, but not all the way, and Lake Tahoe back on the attack. Garcia able to jump that passing lane.
San Bernardino looks like they're just sitting back, shifting. Just trying to keep Lake Tahoe in front of them.
Content to wait for an opportunity perhaps to get a quick counter, and we've seen that used to great effect already today.
Yeah, it's just sitting back, waiting for that chance, like you said. I mean, it's a matter of whether they can weather the storm or not.
Well, you think about Sandoval and Jacobs on that front line and how quickly they can get back the other way. Chipped in looking for Boothman again, but the pass too strong, but played back out where Lake Tahoe can go back to work. Boothman fans it out. Well, you thought you saw there just a moment ago maybe an opportunity for a drive, but again, at the top of the box and just no lanes there to really get off a shot or a pass. And Boothman ultimately had to just fan it back out and reset.
That's still coming back to the San Bernardino. It looks like their game plan of sitting deep and trying to keep them away from the box, trying to get everybody behind the ball. Really
compacting that defense in the box. They're giving away a measure of ball control here to Lake Tahoe, but so far not much in the way of productive offense. 31st minute. And if you're Lake Tahoe in this situation, yes, you were able to maintain control of the ball, but you know, we've seen the compacted defense be very effective earlier today. How do you go about attacking in that situation? What is Lake Tahoe? What's their counter in that situation to try and open up some opportunities?
I think for them it's being patient and trying to find the right pass in, as they're trying to do right now. San Bernardino can't score if they don't have the ball, so if Lake Tahoe can sort of keep the ball and start to possess a little bit more and look for the right pass, I think that they might be able to break it down. It's going to take a lot of discipline for San Bernardino to stay focused like this. If it continues to stay, they continue to stay with this game plan for the rest of the game.
Loose ball and a collision and a whistle coming. And this one will belong to San Bernardino Valley. So a free kick from their own end. wide open northern bracket on the women's side this year that saw the top 4 seeds in the northern bracket eliminated before the Final Four. It's the 6th seed here in Lake Tahoe and the 5 seed San Joaquin Delta coming up a little bit later on. And a topsy-turvy postseason so far. And an interesting first day here at the Final Four so far. Well, that was the first even potential counter for San Bernardino Valley in several minutes. We wind toward the 35th minute here in the first half. Now in the last several minutes, you've seen Lake Tahoe really take the offense back more out to midfield, so having a little difficulty even getting it into San Bernardino territory. And you wonder at some level if there isn't a little bit of intentionality to this to maybe see if they can get that, a longer pass over the top to create an opportunity. A swing and a miss, trying to clear that one, and that'll create another opportunity for Lake Tahoe. The centering pass is knocked out of play. Will this be a corner kick or a throw-in?
I think that could be the adjustment that Lake Tahoe needs to take, is try to find a little bit longer passes, penetrating balls in behind to try to get San Bernardino to drop deeper and deeper so that they can start to get their lines up.
Almost produced a chance there. One-timer cleared away. Well, particularly in this latter part of the first half, it has been Lake Tahoe almost completely in control in terms of ball possession. 36th minute. Do you have the sense, Nick, as you watch that for Lake Tahoe that maybe a counter opportunity is developing for San Bernardino? You're watching the two in the back sort of move forward and start to creep up.
Yeah, I feel that there could be. It's just a matter of how much longer San Bernardino can hold on and sit back and defend, as well as Lake Tahoe, if they can keep their patience going and knocking the ball, not trying to make.
Jacobs unable to handle the centering pass. Pass broken up and nearly stolen. Gets it ahead to Jacobs, but Jacobs can't handle the pass. Well, there was perhaps the start of a counter, and now Lake Tahoe will look to attack. Palencia will send it back out to Meyer. Well, you talked about the patience, Nick, of Lake Tahoe, and I think safe to say they've been very patient here in this first half.
Yes, they have been very patient. I think it could be a matter of time as well till they start to break lines and get in behind them and create chances like they have a couple times.
It's a great effort. Belinda Newsom getting in there to poke that one free, but Lake Tahoe maintains. And there's Newsom again, getting in that passing lane, but not all the way out. Driven into the box and back out. San Bernardino comes out clean, but that one poked away and stolen. Just when San Bernardino perhaps thinking about a counter.
seems to be that for Lake Tahoe, ball seems to be running through number 14.
Yeah, Palencia working a lot in the middle.
She seems to be pulling the strings a little bit and trying to get the defense to shift from side to side so they can find that penetrating pass as she sits a little bit deeper.
On the drive, the centering pass broken up. Well, that was a good hard drive on the far side. And it produces a corner kick. Couple of substitutions for Lake Tahoe. And we're ready to go. Played toward the top and back out. Going back to San Bernardino Valley. Here in the 40th minute. Well, for a team with 84 goals on the season, 6th in the 3C2A in goals scored overall, I think it has to be something of an eyebrow-raising strategy here in the first half to play so very conservative against this Lake Tahoe squad, but San Bernardino Valley, at least to this point, content to hold back. Centering pass broken up, sent back out. Especially, Nick, when you think back to the first about 15 minutes of this game, a couple of very good scoring chances came for San Bernardino Valley when they were pressing more offensively. I think it's interesting that obviously the adjustment seems to have been made in this direction, but here comes a quick counter. Jacobs leaves it outside. And the pass in, and Lake Tahoe back nicely to send that back out. Played out, this should belong to Lake Tahoe. And it does. Mariah Gonzalez on for San Bernardino Valley. And we'll have a throw in. Cheyenne Banks will bring it in. 42nd minute. Scoreless first half. Overthrown. Valley wins the 50-50 ball. And now it's Lake Tahoe that just has to play that one out. While Sandoval and Karen Jacobs are still out there for San Bernardino Valley.
It'll be interesting to see how Tahoe deals with as well, having subbing out Gabriela Marquez, Angelica Hurtado.
Somewhat rare foray into Lake Tahoe territory here in this first half, and a chance. The throw into Jacobs, but it's off the mark. But the ball won back. Here comes San Bernardino Valley, chipped into the box, but nobody there. Well, Janice has to go all the way to get that ball. It's a little bit surprising, don't have a ball ready. So a long run for Claudia Janice. But we're ready to go. Moving toward extra time here in the first half. cleared out. This one will stay with Lake Tahoe. Looking for Roberts. And Emily Roberts has been taken out of this first half, at least for Lake Tahoe, for the most part. San Bernardino Valley, obviously very cognizant of Roberts, and the opportunities have been few and far between. But you start to get the sensation in this matchup that it might just take one. Both sides maybe looking for that one opportunity. Long pass up ahead, Sandoval giving chase. She's not going to get there, and instead Lake Tahoe will play that outside, and we'll have a throw-in.
I think this has been the furthest up that San Bernardino has been here. For a while.
Yeah, very, very few attacks for San Bernardino Valley here in this first half, especially as we talked about after about that first 15 minutes when there were a couple.
Still sitting a little bit defensive minded as well, leaving 3 in the back with 1 forward up top. So still that attacking option still in the back of their mind.
And that's a departure from Lake Tahoe, where we saw they were starting to creep up, maybe leaving only 1, maybe 2 back, as opposed to the 3. So Lake Tahoe starting to press a little bit offensively. And that will wrap up the first half. Through 1 half of play, no score. It's the women's semifinals, Lake Tahoe and San Bernardino. It's the 3C2A Men's and Women's Soccer Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second half underway in a scoreless game, San Bernardino Valley and Lake Tahoe. The winner advances to the championship game, 2 o'clock on Sunday here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Both teams with just 2 shots on goal in the first half. Both, it would seem, content to wait it out and try and create the best look they can, a good look for themselves. And I think Nick Garcia, it's, so far I think it's a credit to both teams that that opportunity really hasn't been there. For the other side, I think each one trying to lull the other one into a mistake, and that mistake hasn't really happened yet.
I think both teams are kind of playing a little bit more defensive than they probably normally are used to, and I really think that it's going to be the battle of midfield for them. See who can dictate that and who can control the ball and start to get penetrating passes in behind.
Coyotes looking to attack. They try to reverse the field. That pass nearly stolen.
San Bernardino, sorry. Seem to be playing a little bit higher than they were in the first half and pressing a little bit more so far.
Yeah, they've come out decidedly more aggressive, and here is the turnover. And one chipped ahead, but Tahoe back. Well, despite Lake Tahoe's ball control, Vanessa Casillas, the goalkeeper for San Bernardino, a pretty uneventful first 45 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think she's really been tested today so far. I don't really think either keeper.
Yeah, Janice had to make a couple of saves, but yeah, Casillas has really been able to have it fairly easy here behind a very stalwart defense that has not allowed much in the way of point-blank shots. Loose ball comes free to Maria Carino, who tries to play it ahead. And again, only black jerseys back. This is Jacobs trying to redirect. Palencia. Centering pass, and that one broken up and nearly stolen. Poked free. So Lake Tahoe thwarts the potential counter for the moment. Steal for Lake Tahoe and no call coming. Good clean steal. That one played out, and San Bernardino Valley wants to reset.
San Bernardino don't seem to be playing the same way that they were in the first half so far. Like we said, trying to, looks like, put their back line under pressure and force them to play a little bit quicker.
Try the long pass, but Lake Tahoe again able to reinitiate their attack. Long pass into the box just ahead of Roberts, but to the far post. And the one-timer, not a lot on it. And played out, and a corner kick coming. Well, you had the sense that both teams trying to maybe set up a long pass, and there it was looking for Roberts, but it actually ended up coming through the box. I believe it was Isabella Wakeling who ended up trying to get a foot on it. To the far post. And on goal. And there's Vanessa Casillas coming up with the save. Jacobs able to block this one, but to Janice. And Jacobs is down. Take a look at Karen Jacobson. That's hard to say. That was a hard ball that she took there.
Yeah, it
so
looked like it was to the stomach, so maybe just the wind knocked out of her.
We're in the 52nd minute. And it's more of a defensive battle, a bit of a chess match here between two very high-flying offenses throughout the season. But this one has gone in a different direction so far.
It'll be interesting to see with shifting Annie out wide a little bit further and stretching them for Lake Tahoe. We'll see how San Bernardino deals with that.
So Jacobs will come off. And that leaves San Bernardino Valley down their top goal scorer. Ups the pressure perhaps on Nayeli Sandoval. Sandoval, I should say.
Looks like she just stepped off for a minute and she's back on now.
Okay, so Jacobs going to stay on.
Yes.
Sandoval with the steal. Tries to get it across, but the pass behind Carino. This is Palencia trying to play it ahead. Garcia stepping into the passing lane and breaking that up. Garcia sends it ahead to Jacobs. But again, Lake Tahoe really able to snuff out the attack right at the point, right at about midfield. San Bernardino Valley has had a hard time really getting a couple or three consecutive passes to really get a real attack on the goal.
Yeah, like I said before, I think it's going to be a battle of the midfield for both teams. Whoever's going to control that midfield is probably going to get more chances and ultimately maybe a goal. Lake Tahoe has done a good job of stretching and using as much space as they possibly can. duel there between the two. Ball gets played wide.
'56th minute. Jacobs
tries to let it roll through her legs and it just rolls out of bounds.
Over there, locked up with Madison Boyd. Throw in coming. Into the 57th minute.
It's interesting to see both teams and kind of how they've prepared for this game, with Lake Tahoe so far kind of staying super wide and trying to stretch out San Bernardino's defense, while San Bernardino's done the exact opposite, kind of stayed compact and hoped and prayed for a quick counter attack.
Now the Coyotes will start their attack. Looking to cross. And that one played over the end line, and we'll have a corner kick coming.
Quiet game so far for Lake Tahoe. Number 3, Annie Breck.
Yeah, Annie Breck.
Yeah, I've been coming in with 13 assists already. It seems to be a little bit of a playmaker. Kind of very quiet, though, so
yeah,
far.
barely been able to call her name. Looking for the far post. And that one sent just wide. Well, given how much trouble both teams seem to be having really transitioning from defense to offense, you have the feeling here as we head to the latter third of this game, at least in terms of regulation, that it could be a set piece that might ultimately produce the best scoring chance. Of course, that remains to be seen. But so far, defense seems to be carrying the day.
Yes, definitely, considering how much of attacking threats both teams have been throughout the season for them.
Garcia will be waved off. Gets it back from Jacobs. Chips it ahead, but black jersey's there, but no. Sandoval trying to split a couple of defenders. Cleared out, but not all the way out. And we'll have a throw in.
Bit shocking to see Karen Jacobs drop all the way down and probably behind her midfield to check in and get the ball off that free kick. Maybe a little bit of movement might help them.
Bringing her back further away, in other words, from the...
Yeah.
Yeah, and is how much of that maybe is just a desire to get the ball to her. They're having so much difficulty finding her in space.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of frustration of her wanting to have the ball at her feet and take players on.
Throw-in gets by Roberts. Centered, but Tahoe away with it. Breck looking to play this one ahead. Gets it back. Long pass up ahead. Loose ball recovered by Lake Tahoe. Woodward. It's Palencia. Chipped ahead. Roberts has a little room, trying to gain control. A shot blocked. Back out, still alive in the box, but now a whistle comes in. Boy, Casillas with a big-time save. We can take one more look at this one.
Looked like it might have possibly came off the post as well.
Yeah, couldn't quite tell from that angle if it was Casillas, and this one's coming right at you. See, Roberts trying to get there, and good position by Casillas. Well, that was perhaps, to my memory, the first time that Emily Roberts has really been able to get the ball in space at all. And she showed nice patience there, working her way free for a shot, but Casillas up to the challenge, cutting down the angle nicely.
Yeah, she's done she did a great job. That was probably the only chance that she's really been tested so far, and came up big time for them.
Yeah, pretty big moment. Semifinals here in the second half and a scoreless game, and the tension building in this one. You sometimes talk about at the top of games that teams are maybe probing, looking for a weakness, a vulnerability, something they can attack. And, well, here we are in the 62nd minute, and it still sort of feels like that. Both teams, I think, still trying to find their way around and see what they can possibly do to get a high percentage shot.
Yeah, I think both are playing a little bit conservative right now, scared to make a mistake, and ultimately risk giving up a goal.
Well, San Bernardino comes in here. This should be quite comfortable to them because they've come in the high drama route. They've gone 2 penalty kicks in each of the last 2 rounds. They defeated Chafee back on November 20th. That was 4-1 in penalty kicks after they went to kicks tied at 1. And then, of course, the win over Cerritos that came 5-4 in penalty kicks. So perhaps a small advantage for San Bernardino Valley. Obviously going to feel quite comfortable and confident in a tie ball game heading deep into regulation or into overtime.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling, being able to rely on your keeper to come up big time and make some saves in penalty kicks, especially twice. So maybe, that being said, it being a little bit more comfortable for them with the scoreline how it is right now at 0-0.
And Lake Tahoe, their postseason mirroring their regular season, which saw them just being incredibly dominant statistically. Quick give and go. Breck.
The movement.
Lost the handle and just gave it up. And Breck, I think, wanted to go back to Palencia, but suddenly the passing lane closed down, and for a moment San Bernardino had it, but now it's back to Lake Tahoe.
The movement from Emily Roberts off the ball so far in this half, I think, has been a lot better than the first half.
Yeah, working that center forward. And just saw a great opportunity a moment ago, but not able to convert. But Roberts, a constant threat.
Yeah, a constant threat with 30 goals so far in the season. That's something terrifying to deal with.
Master of understatement. The pass intended for Maria Carino. And it squirts through, and Janice will play it back. 65th minute. Wolverines looking for a counter. Trying to play this one ahead. Jacobs giving chase, but it's played out, and we'll have a throw in on the far side.
She has been all over the field so far, hasn't she? Switching different positions, going out wide, dropping back. She does not want to lose this game.
No, yeah, it's you're talking about Karen Jacobs here. It's find Karen Jacobs as the game, because she's been in the center. She's been to the right side, now over on the left side, working from left to right, and they have moved her around, brought her back up a little bit further out to get the ball to her. And this is Jacobs centering into the box, the header on goal, and a great save by Janice.
I think that is the biggest opportunity that we've seen so far, and
see if we can get a look at this one.
A great job.
And we will give you one more angle here as you watch. This is a terrific center from Jacobs, and you see the shot there. Janice just reaching out, and let's get one more look if we can here. And here comes the corner. Out at the top of the box. One timed back in, but Janice the only one there.
Lake Tahoe seemed to be a little bit threatened by that, dropping everybody back into the box right there.
You know, facing their postseason mortality there on a terrific look moments ago, but this time it was Claudia Janice who came up with a spectacular save, as it's turning into something of a duel among the goalkeepers here in this second half.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit more of both teams trying to get in behind now and start to create more chances and be a little bit more outgoing going forward now, starting to try to create chances to lead to opportunities. So
centered to Roberts, looking for Walcott, but the pass offline, going back to the Wolverines. Played back in. Walcott able to keep it alive. Lake Tahoe with the throw in. Breck with a little space. Quickly shut down as she plays it back out. Lead pass a little too far and played back out, but it's going to stay with Lake Tahoe. Throw in coming in the 70th minute. Woodward will bring it in. This foul is going to work against San Bernardino Valley. They'll get a free kick here deep in San Bernardino territory. Madison Boyd will put this one down.
San Bernardino dropping everybody back as well again. It looks like they're setting up zonal marking as well. So it could be a bit difficult with runners coming in and moving into different spaces.
Walcott trying to get ahead on it. Redirected wide. You sense with the height on the front line between Roberts and Walcott that a set piece for Lake Tahoe represents significant danger for San Bernardino Valley.
Yes, very much so. I think trying not to give up corners and set pieces in and around the box would be.
Again, they try to lead Jacobs. Loose ball ultimately goes to Tahoe. Looking for the quick counter. You see that 4 back, though, immediately. Really 7 back, but that back line back so quickly. And
yeah, they have not given up on that tactic of staying compact, have they?
Well, it's hard to say it's not working defensively, I guess.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, though, as the game goes on and how, as we get later and later into the game, how that tactic could either be.
Breck with a little move. On the attack, and Walcott just can't quite find the handle. Shot from the top of the box, blocked at the point, and sent out. This is going to be a throw-in for Lake Tahoe. And boy, again, Walcott there had a pretty good look, but just couldn't quite find the handle to pull the trigger.
Yeah, this could also be a dangerous opportunity as well if they have a big throw.
They're going to play it back outside. And they give it up.
Like Tahoe looking to switch the ball, switch the point of attack a little bit.
And they get it over to Woodward.
They seem to be attacking down the left side quite a bit now, don't you think?
Yeah, looking to get Breck more into the fold. But she is being marked by Monica Garcia, it looks like. And Garcia has had a very solid outing here defensively. And Lake Tahoe not getting much going on that attack from the left side. Meanwhile, a bouncing shot wide of the post.
Yeah, it does. Monica Garcia looks like starting and playing in every game so far for them. So it could be a big-time defender for San Bernardino.
Well, and again, it's a little like the first half where I thought early in that second half, we remarked on the aggressiveness from San Bernardino, and there were a couple of opportunities that developed, and then it seems progressively they've gone back into that shell a little bit as this half has gone on, and they've been more content, it would seem, to let Lake Tahoe work against that compact defense. Well, and as you alluded to a little bit earlier in the half, back-to-back victories and penalty kicks, so maybe just a measure of confidence if it gets that far.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see how this goes, if it does go into finishes in regular time or not.
Breck goes down, no call. Good steal for San Bernardino. Again, they're looking for Jacobs, but Jacobs can't quite make her way to it. Instead, Palencia will send it across as Lake Tahoe looks to start an attack.
Looks like San Bernardino has almost dropped back into a 4-5-1 again. And like you said earlier, just staying compact. Trying to get Jacobs in through off a quick counter.
Cleared out to Palencia. Walcott tries to feed inside. Momentarily had it before San Bernardino clears it back out to Woodward. Garcia will send this one out of play.
have Lake Tahoe here. That's pretty much similar to how they were in the first half, possessionally. Having most of the possession in the game again, creating a little bit of chances.
Breck working her way through traffic. And a shot and a goal! That all started with Breck. Well, Breck goes down, and it just ends up in a perfect spot.
It'll be interesting to see how San Bernardino deals with this now, having sitting back a little bit more than they normally do. Maybe now they'll start to press a little bit higher up their lines and start to look a little bit more direct than they have been.
Yeah, in the 78th minute. And sometimes there's a lot of game left to be played, and I think sometimes you're exactly right, Nick. You got to go right to work. You don't have a lot of time left.
And this is what we talked about in the first half of Lake Tahoe, being patient in a sense. Yeah, they had more possession, but being able to wait for that.
And I made the point about the individual effort by Breck, and then, you know, at the end of that, Nick, I think it was just a little good luck that ball ends up sort of popping free from Breck and right to a wide open shot. And you know, give all the credit in the world, they convert on the opportunity, but it was kind of a random sort of ball that ended up popping free. And you know, sometimes that's just what happens sometimes when the effort is spectacular, and it's sort of a little good luck as the residue of design there, and ultimately it works out for Lake Tahoe for the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, a little bit of luck can go a long way.
I'm going to get official confirmation. I believe it was Roberts that ended up converting, but I'm not. Actually, I take that back. It might have been Alyssa Williams. But let's wait, and we'll get the official call here. Nightfall comes here, and we want to make sure that we have the number right, and we'll get the official stats for you. But the most important stat is that it's Lake Tahoe that has the 1-0 lead after the goal.
101 goals. We knew coming in that they weren't going to be shy of scoring goals, were they?
102 is a big one. Well, we thought it would come sooner, but here in the 79th minute, Lake Tahoe, as they play, now has the 1-0 lead in San Bernardino Valley, who has the gaudy offensive numbers themselves. Going to have to find a way to create an opportunity. Garcia going to play this one out. And the throw in coming. Well, I think if you're Lake Tahoe in this situation as well, we've talked about San Bernardino's defense and the strategy and the success that they had, but Lake Tahoe has been every bit the equal defensively, and San Bernardino Valley has had a lot of difficulty really generating good high percentage scoring opportunities. Been working very hard to get the ball to Karen Jacobs, but so far without much success. Valencia one times this one back into the box. Roberts is there and wins the ball. Back up top. And poked free. And sent out, and we'll have a throw in for San Bernardino Valley. Carino will bring it in. Well, no, she'll give it to Garcia, and Garcia will bring it in. '81st minute, and I suspect that there's going to be a decent amount of extra time here. And Jacobs had to be looked at earlier in this second half. So the goal was scored by Angelico Hurtado, and that was something that you were talking about in the first half as well. Hurtado, something of a quarterback for this team as well. And it was Hurtado in the right spot. And a terrific shot inside the near post Breck gets the assist, and it was Breck's ability to keep that ball alive, creating that scoring opportunity, and Hurtado finishes it off for Hurtado.
Breck slowly started to get more and more involved, and I think that's what led to it.
13th goal on the season for Angelica Hurtado. 82nd minute, and that'll draw a whistle. Marcella Gallo goes down, and a free kick coming for San Bernardino Valley.
We'll see how San Bernardino goes as well, maybe starting to throw everything but the kitchen sink at them at Lake Tahoe to try to get an equalizer with 9 minutes remaining.
Carino in from the right, but can't quite handle the pass. Quickly back, it's Boyd who will play it ahead, and San Bernardino will recover. Long pass offline, and San Bernardino back on the attack. Poke check and a steal. Played ahead, and again a mishandle. Tahoe wants to counter, and that has got to be a call. And is this going to be just one of those somewhat intentional fouls that allows you to kind of reset the defense?
I think so. This is going to be a dangerous opportunity, though.
Yeah, the free kick will come from just outside the box on the far side. And again, something of a miscue. Just handling the ball creates the opportunity for Lake Tahoe, and a chance here to really drive a nail in the coffin if they could come up with something on the set piece here in the 84th minute. Chipped far post. Roberts trying to get the header on goal, but it's wide.
Unmarked as well.
Yeah, she had a lot of room as it turned out. Not much of an angle, but.
Yeah, a very dangerous person to leave unmarked inside the box. So.
Yeah, you have the sense that wasn't the way that was drawn up. Sandoval and Jacobs forward for San Bernardino Valley, and the effort to get the long passes to Sandoval and Jacobs. Here's another one, and Jacobs tries to center. Be a throw in for Lake Tahoe. Reminder, one more game today. Second women's semifinal. It'll be Santiago Canyon, the top seed in the south, and the 2 seed in the north, San Joaquin Delta. And that'll come up at 7 o'clock. So we wrap up our quadruple header here. Semifinal Friday, the CCCAA Men's and Women's Soccer Championships. Well, for all the success that Tahoe has had defensively, and I think it's been a very strong defensive effort, there were a couple of very good opportunities that really were only thwarted by terrific saves by Claudia Janice. And it just reminds you of what a game of inches this can be, and just that narrow difference.
Yeah, it reminds you of the stats that they've had, like we said, 0.22 goals against overall in the season.
Yep. And one of the opportunities came in the first half, and then a terrific opportunity at the top of the box, a header right on goal, and Janice just a fingertip save, able to just send it wide.
Looks like San Bernardino are starting to push numbers up forward, playing with, looks like, 3 in the back now. Maybe throwing up an extra forward or an extra midfielder.
Yeah, move into the 87th minute. And looking for Jacobs again on that far side. Tahoe just going to send it out. Well, for San Bernardino Valley, if this score holds, it'll be just their second loss of the season. And their only other loss came in their opener way back on September 1st to Santiago Canyon, the top seed coming here in the South. Undefeated themselves, so what a great season it has been for the Wolverines up to now, and they're hoping they can continue it as we move toward extra time. Played all the way back, where Casillas will recover. Breck chips this one back. Again, the Wolverines will have to work at the length of the field. Still some time on the clock, you would believe, as we move toward extra time, and a couple of stoppages here in the second half.
Anything could happen, like what we saw in the game before this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a strange story that game was. And you know, look at the Lake Tahoe sideline, and looking expectantly as they inch closer toward a possible spot in the championship game. Boyd, couple of moves, looking for Breck. And that one gonna be over the end line. Kayla Storm trying to keep it alive, but it'll be a throw in for Lake Tahoe. Woodward will bring it in. Roberts. Corner kick coming for Santiago Canyon. Woodward will take it. Into the box and shot off the post. Rebound on goal, and another rebound and a goal. I'll give you a couple of looks at this one. And just a second and third effort, and it looked like Casillas just couldn't quite handle that second one cleanly, and that produced the third opportunity. Watch this one more time. And for Lake Tahoe in extra time, that in all likelihood should salt it away. And they will remain unbeaten. Well, I'm trying to figure out the seedings that had this as the 6th seed in the northern bracket, Lake Tahoe, because it's a victory over top seed Sierra, and then a very impressive win if they finish out the last couple of minutes here over San Bernardino Valley, who came in with just the one loss, a victory over Cerritos themselves, and now Lake Tahoe, the Coyotes, perhaps one win away.
Yeah, I feel
from a 3C2A championship.
I feel that goal should have been the nail in the coffin.
Everybody moving forward for San Bernardino Valley. We'll have a whistle. This could be a free kick coming for the Wolverines here in extra time. Looks like Garcia will take it. Samantha Freitas with the goal moments ago in extra time, and Freitas on the rebound. That one on goal, but Janice with the sliding stop.
She has come up big time when she has needed to. I'll give her that. Not tested very much, but when she was called upon, she's done her job.
Yeah, had to make a couple of big saves and ultimately was able to. And, you know, when you play this kind of style where you're not taking a lot of chances, and I think Lake Tahoe was very measured here in this matchup. There is the whistle, and it's a final. You're going to need the goalkeeper to come up big a couple of times, because a couple of chances are going to come. And if you're playing it kind of close, like they were, you need the big performance, and that's exactly what they got as they make it a 2-0 win here in the semifinals and advance to the championship game. That'll be at 2 o'clock on Sunday. We'll step aside here, come back, and get you ready for semifinal number 2, San Joaquin Delta taking on Santiago Canyon.